So hockey season starts in a few weeks, and I'm excited about that. One of the things I like about watching hockey is the fights that break out. But apparently maybe a better place to go for consistent fights would be the pool on a Royal Caribbean ship or the chicken fingers area in the buffet on Carnival. Yet another fight on a cruise ship, forcing it to return to port. Crazy. And unfortunately, another person has died in an incident in Alaska. Lots to talk about. Let's get to it. Hi, I'm Sean Whent. I'm your host here at the Whent There Cruising channel. And today is cruise news for Saturday, September the 20th, 2025. The first story earlier this week on Tuesday, the 16th, the Wonder of the Seas departed out of Miami on a 4-night cruise in the Caribbean. But after only several hours, had to return to port due to a fight that broke out, apparently near the kids' pool on the ship. Upon returning to the dock there in Miami, they were met with law enforcement and rescue personnel, and 2 people were taken to the hospital as a result of injuries sustained in this fight. Once again, another fight on one of these ships. So the Wonder of the Seas is the 5th of the Oasis-class ships on Royal Caribbean. It's relatively new, and when they launched it, they actually started it doing these 3- and 4-night cruises. Usually those newer ships are put on 7-night sailings, but they're using it for shorter sailings. And, similar to what we've seen on recent Carnival ones, fights, right? And typically they tend to be on these lower price cruises that are shorter times where they get people that are causing these kind of issues. And so what are they going to do about this? Now, I think maybe in this case, Royal Caribbean kind of made a big deal about it because they did kick some people off the ship, apparently, upon returning to Miami. So they're creating a zero tolerance kind of environment. But this is a thing that is continuing. I think they're going to have to step up visible security and, really just not tolerate this kind of foolishness on board. It detracts from everybody's enjoyment. Now, being that they were on a Caribbean cruise going to the Bahamas, I don't think it ultimately disrupted the itinerary, but still really unfortunate. More news coming out of Royal Caribbean, though. The Legend of the Seas is going to debut early. So last week we reported that Disney was delaying its new Disney adventure by 3 whole months. Well, next summer, Royal Caribbean is launching the new Legend of the Seas, the 3rd Icon class vessel. They're going to launch that 3 weeks early. So it will launch out of Civitavecchia. Somebody sent me a thing on how to pronounce that. So there we go. We're making progress. But it'll launch 3 weeks early on July the 11th. So people that were initially scheduled for the inaugural sailing are being given first dibs to relocate or rebook on the new inaugural sailing there on July 11th, but 3 7-night sailings that were not previously scheduled. So good job by them getting it out early. Are you excited? Are you scheduled to sail on Legend of the Seas? Let us know. Or also, is it important to you to be on that inaugural sailing? Does that really make a difference to you? I think some people it does. Third story today is more news out of Royal Caribbean. The Harmony of the Seas is getting an upgrade. So next May, it will be going in for its dry dock, and during that process, they are going to be adding 91 more staterooms to the ship. That's a lot. More other cosmetic things. They're going to be adding a new bar, or I guess it's the pesky parrot bar is going to be replacing the bionic bar. And they're also getting a Brazilian steakhouse, redoing some other restaurant, making it into a Brazilian steakhouse. But 91 new rooms, that takes up a lot of room. Where is that space coming from? Apparently they're getting rid of the conference center on one deck, and that takes up a fair number of those rooms. But they're adding them in other places as well on multiple different decks. Apparently they're getting into part of guest services. So looks like it'll be neat. I enjoy a good Brazilian steakhouse. I'll have to schedule another one in there. I'm actually scheduled to go on the Harmony in 3 weeks and looking forward to bringing you some content from the Harmony of the Seas. But I'm going to miss this retrofit, so I'll have to go back and check out the changes that are made after. Fourth story today, another one out of Royal Caribbean. They're apparently in the news big time today. So the upcoming sailing, October the 4th, on the Radiance of the Seas, was scheduled to be a 16-night Panama Canal cruise. So, that's kind of a bucket list cruise for a lot of people. Well, now they're advertising that they are overbooked. Well, they're not advertising. They're sending notifications to people on board that they're overbooked. So they're trying to get people either to move down from a balcony cabin to, I'm assuming, an ocean view or inside cabin, or they're trying to get people to reschedule to some other sailing. If you do cancel altogether and have a balcony cabin, one of the things they're offering is a full refund plus a 200% future cruise credit. That's pretty significant. That's fair compensation. But I wonder how many people actually take you up on that. I mean, like, at this point, that vacation would only be a couple weeks away. You've been looking forward to it for a long time, probably taking the time off work, and now they want you to potentially reschedule. Not great. So this is the danger, right? Now, obviously, if you are booked into a balcony cabin there with a room number, you're fine. But if you're one of the people that has booked a guarantee balcony, you may not get it. So that's the risk. You can get a guarantee cabin at a lower rate when you book it. But the risk you run is if they do oversell it and they don't get enough people that cancel out, they may not have a cabin for you. So is that cheaper fare worth it, or is peace of mind worth a little more extra money? Personally, I would not book a guaranteed cabin, but interested to hear your thoughts on that. And the last story today is another sad story. This one comes out of Alaska. So for the third time this year, they've had a person get killed in an accident there in Alaska. It's the second one in Juneau, and the second one in Juneau, that is a hiking accident. Back in July, we reported that a woman had died in a hiking accident there in Juneau. And now there's another one. Apparently, two people were on the Mount Roberts Trail, and they fell off the cliff, essentially, right? Slid down the side. Apparently, one of them didn't fall very far and was able to be rescued with only minor injuries. But the second one, a 32-year-old person from Texas, my home state, was unfortunately killed in the process. They fell too far and had too significant of injuries, and they did not survive. And this follows just a few weeks ago. We had a cruise passenger killed in a traffic accident in Ketchikan. So, it's not the thing that you think about, right? I mean, like, you go on vacation, have a good time, but, danger's always lurking. So do you hike when you go to Alaska? It's incredibly beautiful. Do you go on hikes there? And if so, is this something that you take into consideration? Do you take extra precautions? Interested to hear your thoughts. So, lots of news going on. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, please like the video. And if you like cruise content, please subscribe. We want to be your source for cruise content. Until we see you next time, we wish you smooth sailing. Take care.